All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to do to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who's teaching this truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered four corners of the earth, which are so-called Negroes, Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and American Indians, the true Israelites that's coming out, the elect nation of Israel, and no other people. Slovakia. So stand. Alright. So it's Brother Yuwanathon from Great Millstone, Detroit is back at you with a late night lesson. You know, basically entitled Don't Be Jealous of the Prosperous because they're going to reap their reward. Okay. So let me open up with this one. Let me get Proverbs 3 and the 31st verse. Right? It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. All right, so who's that oppressor, man? He's so-called Esau Edom. And then I've been getting on the elites a lot, who's the ones that's the top tier, the top of the nation of Edom, who is, you know, pulling the strings in the world, man. Yeah, you'll see a CEO, Edomite, you know, who's oppressing us, but also you can't forget these international banking families, okay? But don't be envious, okay? And choose another way. So don't be like them, man. They meditate wickedness daily, man. Another precept real quick. It says, this is Psalm 73 and verse 3. It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. But, you know, don't be envious of them. And like I said, you see like when you look at these top elite banking families, they prosper daily. Like you know how sometimes Jake or anybody at that of that sort, you know, they'll go grocery shopping. They gotta, do I want this? You gotta examine the fruits, make sure there's no, you know, soft spots, brown spots, things of that nature. Or like when you get some meat, make sure, you know, the meat is not looking like they want to get the best quality meat. But when you look at like Amalek and these international banking families, you know, shoot, they picking the cow. They're getting the cow. They're not getting the GMOs. They're getting the creme de la creme, the best of the best. All right. Even though that they are getting the best and they're prospering daily, don't envy it, because now it's time for them to reap what they sow. Because, you know, everything that they do is destruction and disorder in the world. That's why the world isn't flourishing how it's supposed to, you know. And it's just not the orders of the world. It's just, I mean, yeah, it's the orders of the world, but the people, the ecosystem, everything this man touches, he destroys. Okay. And what does the book of John say? This is the book of John 10 and 10. And it says, the thief come not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they have life more. I'm sorry, have life. They might have it. Slocky, let's start all over. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. So the ones that's ruling on top, they got a better life than we so-called Latino, Hispanics, Negroes, and Native Americans. You know, they have life way more abundantly. They can flourish. But you can see that it's starting to be a flip. But again, you know, don't be envious of it. Because also, they're going to have to pay for what they have done. You know? And especially these elites. Let me get... Is that 24 and 21? Yep. Now, this is what they're going to have to pay. They got to reap what they pay for. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Yeah, this is going to be, you know, the punishment for these elites, these international banking families. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners and gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall be visited. So when all hell breaking loose, because you know they're gonna be going in there bonkers, all that, hey, they're gonna be the first ones to be captives. All right. Let me see. It's another one I'm gonna grab in 14. Oh, I think it's 10. Because, you know, also with these elites, these bankers, these wars are also known as what? Banking wars. Okay. So again, these international banking, these bankers, these elites, like I said, the DuPonts, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, so on and so forth, they're the ones that's pulling the strings. All right. But as you can see, you know, when it's a banking war, the scriptures of Daniel tells you that knowledge shall increase. I think that's Daniel. Let me grab that real quick. I'm just gonna roughly paraphrase it. I think it's Daniel 12 and 4. Yep. That's Daniel 12 and 4. It says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and the seal of the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Yeah, because now, like I said, just even though we got technology and all that, but even just look at these missiles, these weapons, these guns, all right? And when you look at these banking families, because there's more than just one, don't you think they might be trading off with different nations? All right? As it comes to a point, actually, I'll grab this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah 14 and verse 10. It reads, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Yeah, because there was a point where, you know, America was kind of untouchable. You know, you got what's called Fat Boy and Little Man. You know, you got the record of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, stuff like that. We had those, you know, the nukes. But now it's to a point where now all these other nations got the same destructive capability and destructive powers of America. Okay? So that's why I'm saying, are thou as weak as me? Now these other nations can go toe to toe. Okay? And that's why these other nations gonna have to, you know, they gonna jump this war. Jeremiah. It's like, yo, it's Jeremiah 51. I'm sorry, 50 and 9. All right. Because this is going to be the end result to this place. All right. It says, Jeremiah 50 and 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Okay, so let's talking about the other nations. You know, you got China, you got Russia, so on and so forth, coming up against America and started, you know, using them by, you know, using their nuclear weapons, you know, the nuclear destruction. All right. And it says, from thence shall be taken, their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. I'm sorry, it says their arrows, which are the thermonuclear missiles, shall be as a mighty expert man. Yeah, because it's going to be mighty, it's going to be powerful. These are missiles. And, you know, they're going to hit their target. All right. And it says, and none shall return in vain. So this is not going to be a void. There's not going to be no voids. There's not going to be no malfunctions. It's not going, you know, it's going to hit their target and it's going to hit their mark. You know, it's going to be, they're going to be used for what they're made for. All right. And that's why, again, these elites, they're the ones that are going to, you know, really, really feel this. They're hiding behind the scenes, but we all know, you know, it's to a point where, like I said, they're scared. That's why you see all this disarray. You see all this madness going on between the other nations with Iran, so on and so forth. Yep. Because they're moving sloppy now. And it says, Revelations 12 and 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, that ye shall dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And, you know, you've seen a lot. It's a lot, you know, since we are at the end of the end. You know, we're seeing, you know, the race wars with, you know, that so-called Jake who got killed when he was amongst 3 of his so-called Edomite friends. You see, you know, Venezuela having their earthquakes, you know, the turmoil over there in the Middle East. These are things that we're looking out for. These are signs that let us know that we're in the end. So that's why, you know, these leases is gonna come out with that MOTB system. All right, but at the end of the day, they're going to pay, man. All right, that's at Revelations 13. Now, just ended off on this one is Revelation 13 and verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, so everything that happened, because, you know, even though this Esau, Edom had done it, Amalek, you're the chief of the house of Edom, man. So you were part of this, you know. So everything that's happening, these are your just rewards for what you have done. Okay, but nevertheless, I hope this video was edifying. Again, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises due again to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakapadash. And again, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Mill, so seeking his truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. I'm going to close out. Say shalom.